Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to I Allegedly. I've got a good one for you today. Imagine buying a ranch, 76 acres, for $6.75. Wow. Well, it could be yours. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and let's get right into it. There's a couple, two attorneys, that had a dream of buying a ranch in Texas. Jason and Katie Bullard went out and saved for 5 years and bought themselves a ranch of 76 acres. The 76-acre ranch is in Mason, Texas. They raise cattle, pasture-fed pork, chickens, just a great place. Well, as they, pursued building on this and maintaining it, and then they had a child, they realized how difficult this was and thought, well, let's sell it. So instead of using a traditional method of selling the ranch, they're out having a raffle right now. And it's basically $6.75 a ticket, and you could win these 76 acres, which is wild. They thought, why not do this over traditional methods? So I researched it because this was sent to me, and they used a company called Raffle, just like it sounds, Raffle. And what Raffle does is Raffle makes it so if you want to, give away something, they take away the stigma and the scam. We just heard about Publishers here Clearinghouse going down for the count and stiffing all those people. Raffle is set up to where they basically are like a PayPal. They, make sure the transaction goes through. Once the transaction goes through and the people get the title, then these people get their money. So you can either get 76 acres if you win, or $300,000 in cash, whatever you want. It ends on December 23rd. But this method has been used to raise money for the longest period of time. We hear about the Special Olympics every year. They give away a nice big house. We hear about companies that give away, major prizes of, trucks and cars and vacation homes and things like that. So this has been done before, but the problem with it is we've heard about these scams before where someone's trying to sell their property and people don't get it, or something goes wrong, or they don't sell enough tickets. Well, this is kind of cool because they're selling tickets. It's made national news, but you could get yourself 76 acres. As I researched the Raffle company, that's a pretty cool company because they just take the headache out of all this stuff and make it so that people, they don't collect their money. It's not a GoFundMe type situation. People don't get money along the way until this thing is completely said and done and the title gets transferred over, which I think is the way to do it. But what do you guys think? Would you buy, a ticket? It's based on British pounds, and it works out to be between $6.71 and $6.75 a ticket. I think I should buy a ticket just to see what comes of all this. But what do you guys think about this? I think you're going to see more and more non-traditional ways of selling property come together in the next 6 months, especially between now and the end of the year. We've seen so many problems with real estate issues. I had a man call me today to explain serious trouble in Florida, how there are condos that were selling a year ago for $500,000. They cannot give them away for $300,000. Even if you wanted to buy these, the problem that you're looking at is you have no way of getting homeowners insurance in some of these units. You may have to help pay an additional assessment on the property, anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 a unit. And who's got that extra money? Why would you buy a condo right now? Seriously. So you haven't seen anything yet. This is getting bad, but it's going to get much, much worse. So let me know about this. Have you ever entered one of these raffles? Have you ever done that? Have you ever bought one of those expensive ones, like for the Special Olympics? You can spend up to 250 bucks a ticket on this stuff. My friend, every year they auction off a big car for the Lions Club here in Southern California, and they give away a car. Every year they give away a car, but the tickets are $100 a ticket. So I always participate. I know it's going to a good cause. They do a lot of social outreach and stuff with the Lions Club. So let me know what you think. Have you done anything like this? and there's a lot more to cover. There's a lot more to cover. You know, one thing that's crazy is the term guilt tipping. And this is something that we keep getting, you know, force fed to us whenever we go places. People want tips. You know, the average person guilt tips and gives almost $30 a month extra in payments that they didn't do 2 years ago. That's wild to think about, but people are getting fed up. And tipping is down 38% right now for 2025. People are just fed up with every place you go. You know, when I go to the stadium, went to a baseball game yesterday, and, you know, every place you go, hey, there's a question for you to answer before I get your beer, before I get your food, before, you know what I mean, every time. And it gets to a point that you're like, no, you know, no, it's too much, okay? So the one thing I always ask is, are you guys getting your tips? And if they give me any, yeah, I think so, I don't tip them, okay? On those little portal things, I'm sick of it. Aging homes, you know, we talked about a housing emergency last week. You know what's funny is, what do you do with all the aging homes? Guess what the average house in America, the age is? 40 years old for the average house. Well, that's an old house, guys. And of course, needs a new roof, it needs new electrical, plumbing needs to be brought up, old water heater, all the maintenance that people just don't think about. You know, owning these houses, you know, it's when you rent, it's fantasy land. And I explained this to my son about how great he's got it when, here's the thing, when they needed maintenance. How about this? In Massachusetts, he lives in a complex where when he does a maintenance request, they don't schedule it. They just show up and open the door and come in. Have you guys ever heard of that? I had never heard of that. I thought he was mistaken. No, that's just for our convenience. It's how we do it. Who would want that? Imagine you have somebody over, okay, and they just do that. So it's crazy. But will the government have to step in and help people fix their houses up? I'm telling you, this talk of a housing emergency, it just doesn't, you know, deal with the purchase of a house. It deals with every aspect of the homes, the maintenance, you know, taxes, insurance, everything. So that's interesting. You know, forget $4,000, you know, an ounce gold. We talked about how gold could hit $4,000 an ounce. And there's no sponsor on this video, but it's crazy because Goldman Sachs just steps forward and they said, forget that. You're going to look at $5,000 an ounce gold by the end of the year. That is crazy, guys. That is, so many things are affected by this. Silver is an industrial metal. Silver is a metal that is used every day, and there is not enough mined silver to keep up with the demand for what's going on. Throw in the EV cars, throw in all the medical uses, throw in all the solar energy shenanigans, and there is not enough silver to meet the demand. And you haven't seen the price of what silver's going to do. It's just going to take off, guys. But $5,000 an ounce gold, that is crazy. There are experts that are talking about the government revaluing gold. I've heard $12,000, $16,000, $24,000 an ounce. These figures, guys, would be wild, you know. But there's so many things happening continually when it comes to this stuff, and I'm not surprised by the talk of it. So let me know what you think about this. What do you think? I just think if you can afford silver right now, go buy as much as you can. Go buy as much as you can, because it's just doing so well. Gold has done so well, and they're predicting that it could go to $5,000. That's wild, guys. Absolutely insane. Just a few things to finish this video. First things first, don't forget to sign up for the email list. There's one going out early this week. And plus we have a private channel called I Allegedly Live, which is all uncensored content, and it's fantastic. You sign up at iallegedly.tv or use the link below. We have well over 400 videos on that now, and it's fantastic. Think about this, guys. Kentucky's divorce rate has plunged. Isn't that shocking? Why are there less divorces? Well, what they mandated 50-50 custody in the state. Men get 50%, women get 50%. Well, that's terrible Men are abusive, Dan. They beat women and they put women in danger. Yeah, well, all the shenanigans that people say during divorce, are kind of put to bed when you give the man 50-50. And Kentucky's kind of proven it right now. Now, are there horrible men out there? Yes, of course there are. But one thing that's been done with divorce is it's made it so that, these children get weaponized, and it's horrible. And I've seen it, the older I get, when I think, okay, this is done, I don't have to deal with this anymore. It's terrible that they've done this. And divorce lawyers, there's a special spot in hell for those people. But the point is that fighting for the sake of fighting, ruining relationships, ruining, kids' futures, all this stuff, it takes a toll. And Kentucky's doing something about it. So read the article. And you can sit there and say, oh, it's a bad thing that these, that they do this. No, no, no. The idea with it is, guys, is just not to make things be weaponized. It's that simple. Now, one thing that's funny is in California, there are 1.6 million fake students that apply to community college. And I'm like, why? Why are these bots? Why are people doing this? Okay. Rancho San Diego College, which is where I got one of my degrees from, was one of the colleges hardest hit. There's an anthropology class. I'm like, wow, I took anthropology. The teacher raised the, attendance, potential attendance to 30 students. Only 12 are real. Okay, the rest are bots and fakes. But you can sit there and go, why are they doing this? Well, student aid. There's been almost $7 million in just the Southern California area that is fake aid that's used for books and things like that. And one thing about criminality, where these people are really ingenious, it just blows me away, is they will go out and they will get money for books and spend it other places. They'll get student aid for housing, for food, for, everything, and spend it in other spots. So you have tens of millions of dollars a year that's being spent on this. And COVID did this. COVID made it so that, hey, you don't have to show up. You can have a Zoom class. Well, I don't have to be a real person. I can be John Smith. And the problem with that is it'll be the last article. And it just blows me away, because this stuff is just, you'd think that somebody would have to show up. You'd think that you'd have, listen, I understand that you want to take this class remotely, but on class number 1, you have to be here. You'd think that they would have that. Plus, I learn more from showing up. I hate Zoom classes. I like, sitting in a classroom. When I did this, that's just me. So let me know what you guys think about all this stuff. Don't forget gold. Forget $4,000, $5,000 an ounce gold. But what do you guys think about the raffle? Would you buy a raffle ticket to win 76 acres for $6.75? Let us all know. Okay? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You want to email me, it's hello@iallegedly.com, and I will see you guys very soon.